Well, here's some stuff I put together today to try to work on. And I have this strainer, and I want to make a kind of a fall vignette in it. I want to make a pumpkin pie. I got several of these at the thrift store. That's what I want to put my pumpkin pie in. And I don't like this pumpkin, so I will be painting it, but I like the shape of it. So I'm going to be painting that. And I'm not sure if I use this or not. This is something I made last year. I didn't do a video or anything on it. It's got beans in the bottom, so it'll set up. And that's just muslin, and I picked an image off of Etsy, and I taped it down to some printer paper and ran it through my printer and made me a little sack out of it. And then I have a rolling pin that I think I might use. And then I've brought a little set of lights to run through it if I want them. But I haven't decided on the pumpkin pie. I brought a little spoon in case I wanted it in there. I haven't decided whether I want to make the pumpkin pie with a muslin top. I did bring some air dry clay. So I'm going to have to figure that out and see how I'm going to do it. I've never made one. I'm flying by the seat of my pants, and we're going to see how it looks. But I need to really get started on it first, because if I know I'm going to use, well, if I use air dry clay, it'll have to dry. If I don't, and I use this, I can just keep working. I don't know. We'll see what I'm going to do. We're going to get started. Okay, it's the next day. Because I was going to do it with the muslin, and I cut this circle out and put that in there, and I was going to use the Sculpey air dry clay around here, and I just didn't like the way. I wanted it to look a little more real, and I remembered at home I had this ResinCrete, and I've done videos on it before. It sets up really fast. It says 30 minutes to demold. Well, I'm not going to be demolding it. I'm going to be leaving it in here. So I done my edges on this one. I'm not real good at fluting. When I make a pie, if I make a pie, I make my edges. I just take a fork and go around it. I'm not used to doing that. So it may not look the best, but it'll work. But I was going to show you. I'm going to make another. I had to fill in my holes with hot glue. But I just take this and I rolled it out because I'll probably make two. So I'm going to go ahead and let that be setting up. This thing is sliding. Can y'all see what I'm doing? Move stuff out of the way. It's not like I have a lot of space. But I just roll it out. Try to get it long enough where it goes around the hole. Getting a little in there. Gotta make it go all the way around. If I don't, I could pinch some off, but it's just easier. Make sure it goes around instead of having to splice it. Okay, let's see. Will that go all the way around? Not quite. I may have to splice it. Put a little to it, a little something in there. Push a little harder. Make it get out. That might work. Okay, that is going to work. I'm going to kind of pinch that together. It's kind of dry. That didn't work. Anyways, I'm going to and let that hang off. Push this down on there because I want it to go down inside. So when I fill it with the ResinCrete, I better go this way first because it may be plenty long enough. I'm going to push this down in there. And I'll have to let this dry. That's why I already have this one done. Now for the fun part. Not for me. Fluting. Need to push that in a little more. Or maybe I need to do it like this. I know you that make pies are probably laughing. I'm not good at it. My mama was. Okay. That doesn't look any better than the last one. But I'm going to let it be. There's where I had to put it together, I think. Well, it looks good on the sides. Maybe when I get it all finished, it'll look good. Okay, I'm just gonna leave it like that. And when I do work with pie dough, it cracks and stuff, so I'm not gonna worry about that. Got something in that right there. Put this away. Now I'm going to get everything ready for this one. Set this aside. I'll let that dry, and I'm going to work on this one now. And I'm going to use my ResinCrete, and I didn't bring my water. Hang on, guys. I got to go get my water. I have to have the water. Okay, before I get started, I'm going to mix me up some paint. And this is burnt orange. And I'm going to mix a little brown in it. Or burnt umber. Don't know how much to use. Because I might want to pour some of this in that crete, ResinCrete. I don't know. A little more. I think a little more, because I know when my pie gets done, it's kind of a brownish orange. Actually, my husband makes most of the pumpkin pies. There, I like that. That looks pretty good. All right, let me wipe this off. I've never done this before, you guys. So you're learning with me. Now my ResinCrete, and I don't know, probably let me just start dipping. One, 2 and a little more. 3, 4, I don't know. 4. I don't want to do an uneven number. Okay, we'll try that. 4. So it's 2. You mix 2 to 1. If I have 4, I'd need 1.5 of the water, I think. I'll try that. I don't know if that's going to be enough. This stuff sets up fast too. It is not going to be enough. I'm going to put another 3 in there. 1, 2, no, just 2, because I got to hurry. I'm going to guess at that. If I have to mix more up, put on top, I will. Get it around in the edges. I'm gonna put a little paint in it, see what it looks like. Yeah, I'm not gonna waste my paint doing that. I think I'd have to put a lot with this white. To see if I got it around all the edges. I've got to start pouring. Okay. I think I need just a little bit more. Yeah, I need a little bit more. And oh, I forgot I had water in that. I kind of know the consistency I need with this. Just kind of like a pancake batter. Okay, that should do it. I should have shot a little pie or paint in that. It like this. Now I might have got too much. We're gonna see how it turns out. Popping the bubbles. Crust. I don't want my pie crust to be pink. I probably shouldn't have put any coloring in it. The bubble. Okay. I'm gonna let that set up and we'll start painting it and painting it and see what it looks like. I need to find somewhere that's level. Well, off to the side here. I even brought some molds with me just in case I mixed up too much, and I didn't. So I'm gonna set that off and we'll let it dry and I'll be back. I brought this back over here. It's been about 10 minutes. And then, I mean, I can't put my finger in or anything. I'm gonna let it set the full 30 minutes before I start messing with it. But it's already hardened. See? Okay, I thought I was filming and I wasn't. I hit it to film and I must have touched it and it went off. But I've given it one coat of the paint. I just spread paint on, you didn't miss much. And I'm gonna put another coat or two on there and let it dry, and then we'll come back and do the crust. Okay, my paint is dried on my pumpkin. And this is just water and cinnamon and instant coffee. Make sure I get my cinnamon. I don't know if I got enough cinnamon in this batch. I had to make another batch. I better not go over that first. I'm going to go over the crust. Make it look like it's been browned. Yeah, I didn't get enough cinnamon in this batch. And it hasn't set very long. It's not getting that thick gooey stuff, and I like that. I didn't realize I was that far out. I'm trying to get down in there and get some cinnamon. Of course, I have to stick my brush down there so far. I'll probably take this home. I do have some, instant coffee and cinnamon mixed up in some Mod Podge. And I know pumpkin pies kind of have a shiny texture to them on the pumpkin part. I might take it home and put some of that on. Or bring it, no, I'll be here tomorrow. I'll just bring it with me. Okay, I like the way that looks. Now I'll put a little bit over this because I already did it. I'd like a little cinnamon in there with that. Because you know, you can see the cinnamon. It's speaker must have shut off. I don't think I should have done that. It got too much. Got too much. There. Okay. rinsed off of that. I see a few spots I need to go over. That really does look like a brown crust. All right, there's how it turned out. Not bad. If I could do the flute better, I think it'd be even cuter. That looks real. I like it. Now I've got to start painting. Only pumpkin I had has these that gold on it. These were some a long time ago from the Dollar Tree. And I put a little of the, let's see, spiced pumpkin on it. I'm gonna give it a couple coats. I'm gonna use that in my strainer. And then I've got to do my little rolling pin. So I'm going to get started on painting this up and giving it more than one coat, probably 2 or 3 coats, and see how it looks, because it's all the pumpkins I have. Okay, I have some vintage photo. I think that's what it is, distress ink. Yes, vintage photos. So I'm going to just kind of hit the edges where it might, brown a little bit. Wished I had the little small one, but I don't. And I just about wore this one out. Getting out of frame, aren't I? There. That looks kind of like it's got some little crisp edges on it. I'm waiting for my pumpkin to dry so I can give it another coat. And now I'm gonna, while this is drying, I'm gonna figure out what I'm gonna do with my rolling pin. Okay, I think I'm just going to put some antiquing wax on my rolling pin. This is watered down. I hope it's dark enough. Yeah, it's gonna be dark enough. I like that color, it looks good. And then I'm going to take my green that I used on my big rolling pin, and this is just a color I mixed up a long time ago and stored it in this little container from Dollar Tree, and it was still good. It was getting a little thick, and I added some water to it and used it on the handles of that other rolling pin, and it worked just great. So that's what I think that's all I'll do with this rolling pin, and it'll be ready to put in that little strainer. Okay, I'm going to put this Mod Podge in instant coffee. I thought maybe it'd give the pie a little sheen. I don't want to get that on the crust. And it's not going to hurt if it darkens it up some. I think I have a little bit of cinnamon in it. I'm not sure. And I'll let that dry and we'll see how it looks. And I think I'll be ready to put this together in the strainer. I really don't want my brush strokes showing, but I don't know how I'm going to stop that. And then I put that on the ink part where I inked it. A little bit. Okay, I really don't like my brush strokes. I may have to go back this way after that's dry, but it is giving it a sheen. And here is the pumpkin I painted, and then just brushed a little lightly with some watered down paint, and then kind of dabbed it, went down in the crevices of it. And the stem was totally dark green, and I put a little brown on it. I think as soon as that's dry, we'll be ready to put this together. The only thing I want to tell you, this pie is like, weighs probably, I bet it weighs a pound. I'm not kidding you, it's heavy. And just set it down in there. I think I'm gonna have to get something for it to set on underneath there, because it's so heavy it just really drops down in there. But I'm gonna start putting this together and see how it turns out and what it looks like. Oh, my spoon, I just put some antiquing wax on it, and then took the walnut Tim Holtz walnut ink, and went around the edges, because you know when a spoon's really used, it turns dark. So I wanted to make it used looking, and with this I just put the antiquing wax on it also, and then went over it with that green. I think I showed this. I think I did, because this the next day I'm starting back in. I'm at work starting back in. So now I am going to start working on this and make it